No!
Taco!
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Slime Boss here, and welcome back to another episode of the Crazy Cat Podcast. I am joined by my co-host, SRJett, Reverse Mailman, and of course, the inaugural episode of MxMToonsy. How's it going, guys?
Going good.
I'm back at the dorm.
It's great. It couldn't be better.
Well,
In California dreaming?
This episode is recorded a little bit early. Mainly because, whereas Mario Wii, that Let's Play kind of happened over time, we recorded Mario Wonder in, one session. So we're barely on World 4 at the time of recording this video.
Oh, no.
So this video won't be coming out for another four...
what do you mean
worlds.
Barely on World 4? We just finished World 4.
We just finished World 4, I should say.
But the World 4 video just came out, and it's an hour and 15 minutes long.
Yeah. Well, you guys enjoy talking about news, and I have some news.
Apparently.
Okay.
So, would you like the... I would say neutral news. I don't want to say good news, but let's just say it's neutral news. Or do you want the bad news first?
I would say bad news.
I feel like this is... I know what this is, and I'm just throwing this out there. I knew about this about a month ago.
So, are we doing the bad news or the good news?
I would say bad news first.
Assuming I'm right about what the bad news is.
Yeah,
okay,
I think
so this is a story that
Alright.
unfortunately means a lot to me. And I sent it to you guys earlier, and I had feelings, and I wanted to get them out there. And initially, I wanted to make a video. I thought that was maybe a little too disrespectful of the people involved. So I'd rather just state my feelings.
Honestly,
here.
I feel like talking about.
Sorry.
I feel like talking about it now is still disrespectful.
Well, it's not.
I don't know these people.
I was just making kind of like a drama video, whereas now it's more like, well, I'm just stating it because I have things I have to say about it, and it's still kind of relevant. It won't be relevant by the time this video comes out, but it's been like clinging on to me, let it
out.
And I've been meaning to talk about it with somebody because it just keeps developing and keeps getting worse. And I think it's better to do it in this video because people can talk about it, be like, yeah, it's a bad thing, and then move on. And I'm hoping that's how this situation plays out. So we can actually continue this episode and have a good, positive episode moving forward. And the same could be said for the people involved, where you can just go back to making videos, and everyone's hunky-dory, and he learns his lesson. So if you don't know...
I excel at that.
The reason...
I excel at just leaving it alone.
The reason why it's so important to me, and it wouldn't even be on this show if it wasn't for me, and the sole reason why I'm even here today, or I brought you guys together to make a podcast, or hell, even Mario Wonder, having that Let's Play even happen, was because I was incredibly inspired, and me and many others, by a little-known YouTuber, not so little, but pretty little in the grand scheme of things nowadays, by the name of Chugga Conroy. He is one of the OG YouTubers and has been around since the early Earthbound days. Back when that was oh my god, it's a cult following, and everyone was so cool to finally share their experiences with this incredible game. And this was way in the early days of the internet. And Chugga had a presence way back then on online forums, and he made friends through that way. That's how he probably met Masay and Steven Steven George and the rest of the Runaway guys. He's been around on the internet for quite some time, and so he then started to make a YouTube channel that focuses on Let's Plays. And from that point, he's evolved the Let's Play formula in a lot different of a way than you might expect on modern-day YouTube. Right now, when you think of Let's Play, you probably think of, Let's Play, Vanoss, Markiplier,
The Red Brad,
Jacksepticeye, people that just play games and have those, oh my god, crazy reactions, right? That's not what Let's Play was back in the day. A Let's Play was just that, a Let's Play. sharing to the world a game that you thoroughly enjoy. And back then, it was a crazy concept.
Actually played through the entire game.
Yeah,
You
and
didn't just
you played
react to it.
together with your audience, right? Whether they're actually playing it or not, they're experiencing the game alongside you. And although it's not a blind playthrough, it's more of sharing an experience, right? And that's what it kind of was. Nowadays, you can't really, he still makes those kinds of videos, but it's a highly produced piece of content, right? There's so much work that goes into it with the Pokemon bios and the Splatoon weapon bios and all the research that goes into it. And he's part of the reason why Xenoblade is so popular in the West in the first place. Like, Xenoblade wouldn't even reach the number 3 if it wasn't for but part of it was him and his, love for the series. And so he's been a huge inspiration for lots of people on the internet. If you know Omni/Infernal Omni on Twitter, your pal Rao, which we've had on the channel before, many people were inspired by this just crazy guy that had an idea to record videos on the internet. And we all knew that he was a little weird, right? He, not necessarily in the way that we expected, but we all knew that he was kind of like, a quirky guy, right? But we never knew that it was quirky to this extent. And apparently, for many years, he has been making multiple people uncomfortable in ways that he probably shouldn't, and he already recognized that. It started by a tweet by someone named Lady Emily, which is the victim, and, well, let's say she didn't do something that savory either. She posted a tweet saying that, I hate going on Reddit and seeing people talk about how wholesome being people are, and they realize that they're not really that wholesome. And she's just like, fuck it, and she came out with it, and how she felt that she was harassed by Chugga Conroy. And it was because that he requested and did like foot fetish role plays with him, which, again, we aren't kink shaming here. Again, we already knew he was a little weird, but we didn't know it would be weird in that way. And from a lot of people's perspective, we're like, okay, sorry you feel that way, but it's not really that big of a deal. And Chugga Conroy responded. He said, I'm sorry, and was probably the most mature apology on the internet. He said, I'm sorry, I don't, mean any harm, and make sure you guys, as my audience, do not send any ill will toward her. We tried to resolve it in private, and he apologized, and everyone thought it was great. And even more so, she added more context, which, to her detriment, that the baseline for a lot of these types of conversations, no matter how creepy it gets, is consent, right? And as long as the opposing party and, your significant others are aware of these conversations, well, they're not fine. We don't necessarily condone them, but from what he said, there was consent. And that's all that matters. And as long as he apologized for the way that he made her feel, that's fine, okay? That, in my eyes, whatever happened. That's something that should have been kept in private, but unfortunately it was made public. And he apologized pretty well. Now, what gets me and what hurts me the most is that one of his longtime friends and another member of the Runaway Guys previously was Nella. And I found her through his content, and they often made collaborations together. And back in the early days of their careers, there was this shipping thing that was going on because they cute and their banter is kind of cute and whatever. And there was like the shipping thing. Modern day internet, shipping between real people is kind of cringe, but understandable. Yeah. We move on. We mature.
And creepy.
Yeah. So
actually, I'm pretty sure it's gotten worse depending on how you look at it.
We mature and we move on from those things. We don't ship Misei and Chugga anymore. However, what gets me is she responds to this post immediately after Chugga had already responded. To me, I would say that's a dead and done situation. He apologized. He may have been a little creepy and, stepped outside of some boundaries. He apologized, closed book. Then Misei comes out and says that they haven't been friends for many a year. And they have been making content in the past year and a half, which is weird. Mostly through Coliseum, which you don't know is a huge charity service that they do every year with the Runaway Guys, as well as multiple collaborations that they made together when they were friends, and then they just happened to publish later, right? Things happen, timelines switch up. And so we were like, oh yeah, their relationship is just fine. Nope, apparently they haven't been friends for years, and they stopped being friends because of his actions and how not necessarily creepy he is, but more so the way that he talks to women, which we don't know how this is. It just may be, again, an autistic thing where it's like, okay, well, he might be breaking some boundary things that, aren't acceptable. And as long as he recognizes that, that's fine. But it seems like this was a repeat offense, not just in terms of foot fetish things, but in terms of a lot of different things in the way that he speaks to women generally. And it's happened to multiple people where they felt uncomfortable by his presence, and they, for some reason, all decided to come out like dominoes. And especially pretty big sticklers who were friends with him in the past. And I think Masay is the biggest one that strikes me down the most, is because, I may not have been a Masay Chugga shipper, but like their relationship to me seemed pretty wholesome. And apparently it was not. And now, instead of being a wholesome shipping list of videos, it is now a list of how many times have Chugga harassed Masay. And that fucking demolishes me. Since then, again, multiple people have come out and said that they were uncomfortable and that he needs to just get help. The biggest thing that Masay had also said that he has apologized before, and those apologies have rung hollow, which means that he probably didn't learn his lesson in the past. And I don't know where the story goes from here. The reason why I wanted to mention it, again, I don't want to continue to beat a dead horse. And again, by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be irrelevant. And I'm hoping that by the time this video comes out, Chugga had responded, apologized again maturely. He already did respond maturely. To respond maturely again, and we all just move on, and he makes videos again, and a lot of people are going to drop off from him, and that's understandable. But for me, I just want to keep... I don't necessarily want to directly support him. I never gave him any money, but I enjoy watching his videos, and that's all that matters. And so I'm hoping that we can move on from this situation. He can apologize, get better, and move on. And I'm hoping by the time that this video comes out, we'll be in a better place in this situation. But the only reason why I needed to say something and felt the need to say something is because he has been a huge part of my life and a huge part of many, many others. There's a large reason why I make videos and content to this day. And it hurts to see the GOAT, the king, be toppled down like this, to think that someone was invincible to this type of behavior online. And he's not. And I understand. He's human. I'm not... it's really bad for you to idolize someone, and I completely understand that. But he was a huge inspiration in my life, and it hurts to see this type of thing happen. And I hope he gets help, and I hope he gets even better, and I hope we can all move on from this situation, and Chugga is still able to do the things that he enjoys, and I'm still able to say that Chugga, is my inspiration, because I could probably not say that right now. That means, like, I also have a foot fetish, and I am, like, creepy DMs with women,
If I may, real quick. Although what you said is correct, like we don't condone these things, and how you saw this YouTube content creator as this idol, it's very easy for people to forget that we're all human, and I'm not justifying any of his actions by any means. I'm not picking sides. I am a complete non-biased third party. I have no idea who this person is. But it's very hard for people sometimes to remember that we're human. We lie, we cheat, we steal, we do wrong things.
We hurt.
We hurt. We do a lot of wrong in...
Hopefully
how you
unintentionally.
say... Well, yeah, exactly. Like, it might not even be intentional, but we do all this in search, a lot of the time, of a feel-good moment or maybe a sort of purpose. So I think what would also be important is to remember that although what he did was wrong, we can't hate forever. The mature and reasonable thing to do would be to handle the situation accordingly, the right way, and not spread hate.
Yeah.
Because I would bet $1 million if I had it that, everyone has done something similar, maybe not harassed people, but maybe you indulge in something that you really shouldn't. You know, everyone has their thing. So it's just important to remember that we're all human. Hopefully he gets better. You know, hopefully the people that may or may not have been hurt get reconciliation for it. But it's very important to remember that we are all human. We all mess up at one point or another.
And I think
Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, that too. Which is why my one goal when making YouTube is like, I'm gonna build the following and I'm gonna meet Chugga Conroy one day. That's not, I can't fucking say that anymore.
Oh, you can totally still say that.
You
no,
can say it.
Why would I want to meet? Well, that was before all the allegations. Okay, why would I want to meet someone that has a history of being creepy? Right? Like I don't know about that one. And then take a picture with them and then like whatever. But
hold on. That's another thing that people do a lot. This is one of like the founders of like why you started your channel, correct? Yeah. Okay, so you don't have to look at him for the one, or I know this is a lot of bad, but the bad thing that has happened does not get rid of the memories you had and the inspiration that guy gave you. It doesn't diminish that at all. You hold on to those good memories. You hold on to those that shows cherished moments. Sure, this is a setback in your views, but if you want to get a picture with him, have that be for you. Don't do it and have people think, don't worry about people thinking, oh, you're doing this, you're a terrible person. No, this guy, at the point, you had no idea what was going on. He was a huge inspiration. So if you want to get that picture, if you want to meet him, go for it.
Another thing, too, that I feel is a huge problem with this situation is, again, don't spread hate towards Emily, especially if you want to side with Chugga. At least respect his wishes. Don't harass these people, right? Don't harass anybody. But I will say that both of these people, not Masay is honestly probably the most in the right here, holding off until after they responded and probably not really wanting to say anything, because the best thing that people could do is just handle it maturely as adults and in private. The biggest thing that I would say if you're watching this situation, one, don't be creepy. Obviously, I don't think we have to say that. I think that's, but two, it shouldn't be the first thing that you do to go to Twitter for these types of things. I think if you're two consenting adults, I think the first thing you should do is resolve it privately and then cut ties. Yeah. This is the type of thing that honestly a lot of fans shouldn't see. Again, not saying that what he did was good, but this is something that should have should have been resolved privately and not really made public. And if it's something that you want to say, okay, never, like, just bash this guy, and like, because people can change. Another thing that came up is that someone responded with a tweet saying Chugga was a pedophile when he was 19, talking to a 15-year-old sexually. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that did happen. That was like, what, 25 years ago? People change. Like, no, this was like he's like in his 30s, right? He's an older YouTuber, right? And this was like a screenshot from an old dead forum. Like, now he's like, well, if we're talking about Chugga, let's add some more fuel to the fire. I guess he's a pedophile as well. Like, keep these things in private. Like, if you want to say that he's a bad person, do the thing that Masay did. Just simply say, like, hey, I've cut ties with him for a while. He's been kind of uncomfortable with, I've been kind of uncomfortable with the situation. But we already ended our relationship. Like, we did that in private. And that's all people need to know. That's it. But instead, Lady Emily, which, again, not to, say that she was 100% in the wrong, but it is not okay to just throw shit out there on Twitter. And people have done it endless amount of times. And that's just the problem with Twitter. But, I don't know. I think it just should have stayed private, personally.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that that doesn't how do you say that make it less important or change the gravity of the situation, but it's a maturity thing. What this situation actually reminds me of is when Popular MMOs, the Minecraft YouTuber, when he spread all that stuff that should have just really not been out there about his relationship with Jen was it Jen or Jess? It's been so long.
It was
Gen. Yeah, none
that
of
whole
that
thing was terrible.
should have.
It's just like
Yeah,
I don't even
Who?
remember the whole situation. Popular MMOs.
I
Like
I
honestly, if
repressed a
they would have
lot of
broken
it.
up, you just make a video
I
saying, "Hey, we're not making
I don't
videos anymore. We're not in a relationship."
Exactly.
Boom, done. Like
I don't
that's
Mhm.
even
it.
know who
I'm
that is.
confused on who. I don't even know who we're talking about.
An old Minecraft YouTuber, just a prime
Yeah,
example of something that should have been kept private, not being kept private. It's kind of a situation that this reminded me of.
Anyway, now that we ripped
drama
off
on
the
the internet.
band-aid, I think it's time we
Yeah,
move into something more neutral. And the
you mean the
reason
A
why I
gorilla
bit
say
like
Yeah,
thing?
that.
you know what?
Ripped off, huh?
We're gonna have
It's been the
a
most awkward situation
great
I've
rest of
ever
the
been
video.
in.
yeah, we
Yeah.
ripped off the
Yeah,
band-aid, so let's talk about something a little bit
I would
more
not have
positive.
called how long you talked about it ripping off. That was the most uncomfortable
that,
like 20
We
minutes
peeled
I've
off the
ever
I
felt.
band-aid.
I,
Yeah.
hey, look, he
Seriously.
needed it. It's his favorite YouTuber. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
So-
I feel like you could have just talked
that.
with us about this alone.
Well,
Well,
I already
yeah.
planned
Remember-
on making a video about it. I felt like doing a solo personal video was not maybe the best way to go
Alright.
about it.
Yeah, I mean,
But I
Alright.
needed to
you know,
express
But hey,
my
if you wanted to
feelings
do it now,
because
that's
every single video on this channel, most of the videos on my personal channel, I'm like chugga chugga chugga. He's like chugga chugga choo choo, right? I'm on that chugga train. Like I can't understate that, so
Chugga
I felt like I
train.
needed to respond because that's like it's almost like I build my entire personality around
Yeah.
this one guy, you know.
no,
I feel like
no,
it's pretty
that's-
prominent.
I don't know. I don't know much of anything about Chugga.
So,
I barely know things about YouTubers. I didn't even know he was in his 30s, you said?
yeah, he's getting up there, so that's why I'm like,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish I had more knowledge on this guy. I only know about Chugga Conray because of you. I've never heard of this guy
Same.
they're
beforehand.
the runaway guys.
Never heard of it.
Okay. Well, he's the reason
Yeah,
why
I'm-
we
I'm
were doing
sorry,
Mario
man.
Wii and Mario,
Mm.
or what did we do? 3D World and
Yeah, 3D World.
Wonder.
not Wonder because they haven't done Wonder.
I
No?
swear, every time
Oh.
I learn the exact ages of these people, I'm always get whiplash, like, and then, because I
Yeah.
always imagine them
Matt Pat has
just
a
not being that much
child
older than
who's
me.
like almost 5.
Oh! Don't talk about Matt Pat. He's leaving. I don't want to be sad.
Hey, I'm sorry. How old is Matt Pat?
I don't know. He's
Like
he's probably up
30-something?
there too.
He's got a
Like-
6-year-old. I know that.
No, it gave me whiplash, because when I was watching these people as a kid, I always felt like they were only like they were like my older brother's
like-
age, and
Yeah,
When
like
you
yeah,
were
I know what
5
you
watching
years
them-
older than me top.
mean.
When you were watching them,
No, I find out that they were in. But now that when I look back, at least with Matt Pat, I didn't never got that with Matt Pat because he actually mentioned that he was in college and moved up to New York or was it LA? I don't remember.
well, when you
pretty sure
were
it's LA.
watching
I'm like,
these
oh.
YouTubers, when you were watching these YouTubers, you were a kid, and let's assume that they were at their
Woo.
peak, not when they first started, when they were at their peak, right? They were probably already
What the heck?
they were probably already in, between 18 and 25, right? They probably started their YouTubes when they were a kid, and now they've gone through college, and they're probably already adults now. Now let's talk about 10 years later where we are today, They're now in their 30s, they all have kids, like, it's making sense why they're all wanting to retire. But, anyway, let's get to the... Wow. Alright, let's get to the other news, because otherwise we'll never talk about Mario Wonder. The
Yeah,
other news
let's-
is
Let's wander on over to
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Wander.
Always a mind grenade. Like, all right.
So anyway, I guess we're never going to talk about anything today.
Did the womp
Just
womp
saying.
sound.
Power
Alright,
World. Power World
alright,
is a thing.
Tangent over.
What is
Uh,
Power? I've seen that on Xbox. I almost got it.
So,
Yeah, I've
Power
seen
World has
Power
been a
World.
subject of
Yeah.
controversy lately. It is a game.
Alright,
I don't
thanks.
know what the name of the company is. Forgive me. I believe it is only on
Neither do
PC right now. And it is currently
Xbox.
in beta. It's probably going to be released in Xbox later, but it's in beta
No,
right now.
it's
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
so
I'm
what's
not
the-
really sure
so
about
do-
that, but
So,
yeah. I installed it.
is-
why do people have a problem with it?
so okay, let me explain. So Power
Yeah.
World is a survival crafting game. Imagine, I wouldn't say like Minecraft. It's a little bit more complicated than Minecraft, so I would say more along the lines of Lego Fortnite. okay, and games that are similar to
Oh.
that, Rust,
It's very similar.
Valhalla.
Right, yeah, I was gonna say
Addison-
Rust.
Seems like
Ark.
games like that, and then combine that with the gameplay loop of Legends Arceus, and also add an additional layer of slavery to that. So
I'm sorry, what?
yeah, no,
So-
you're not allowed to say that word on YouTube. I'm
L-
good.
Yeah, reword that.
Legends
Yeah,
Arceus.
Internship.
It is no. I mean that bluntly because it is bad.
Internship.
So
Is
It's
it like,
it's an
uh,
I will never be
internship
able to
of
explain.
Pokemon.
No, it is not an internship. No, we aren't.
Is
no.
it like
an
forced?
unpaid internship?
Yes. So you know,
Yeah.
like PETA's worst fears about Pokemon. Imagine that come to light. So basically, you're in this world, and you
Mhm.
survive like you are in
Okay.
Minecraft, but they had the added element of Pokemon or pals, right? And
You
these
have machine
pals
guns.
that you can catch and you can level up and stuff like that, but it's not the focus of
Okay.
like normal Pokemon boss battles because there are Pokemon
Yeah, it's-
battles, but they're
Yeah,
not
it's
like
not
oh
an RPG.
it's not an RPG, right? So the Pokemon act freely. You can customize their moves a little bit so that they focus on certain moves, but they basically are. Imagine, I think you can only have like 6 in your party at a time, right? Like a normal Pokemon game, but they all act independently. Okay, they all act independently, and you can fight other
Okay.
wild pals to keep catching them. You can attack enemy bases, and you can catch the humans.
Like Clash of
Um,
Clans? What?
And it's not like these humans have tamed. I think some of them do, but not all of them. It's not like, oh, I challenge you to a Pokemon battle. No, it's like they're just like army dudes, and like you can just catch them. And then the main bosses of the game are like gym leaders, right? Yes. And the main
Yeah, I
bosses
just
are like
find-
gym
Yeah,
leaders.
it's just funny.
One big alpha Pokemon with the gym leader behind it. And you can't catch them. These are like regular boss battles. It is also online multiplayer, which means you can do it together. Now, again,
Yes,
the biggest
so
thing
what's
is
the
that
Enslave with
the
friends.
So-
two biggest things with this game is one, guns are also a thing. Because you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah, don't
directly
forget the guns.
because you can't directly influence the pals, you can attack the pals or whatever you're fighting with weapons, which is, a bat or a gun or a crossbow. And if you get to a certain point in the game, you can actually
Holy
give these guns to the pals, and they will fight
Yeah.
with the guns on top of their regular abilities. Now,
Yeah, like
Like
one of
the
them.
guns you use to enslave them?
yes, they will.
Yeah,
they
you
will
can-
then equip the guns and shoot other pals
Oh
with their
my.
gun.
Yeah, you can give. There's one you can give a machine gun. It's really
Yeah.
funny.
So that's that, right?
Yeah,
and then you take
what's the controversy?
we're not even there yet, okay?
Okay, all right.
So the slavery part, okay?
Wow.
So,
And
the
then
slavery
internship.
part
You're not allowed to
is
say that.
no, it is not an internship because you in
Look,
Pokemon you're like,
I think we all know at this point what word you mean.
Okay, it doesn't
but
matter,
For the
okay?
sake of YouTube.
for the sake of YouTube, I don't give a fuck, okay? Because
Wow.
these Pokemon are these pals, right? You're not like, oh, let's catch them and battle with them, right?
Ow.
Which is like PETA, like kind of stretches your imagination. Oh, you're brutally, hurting these Pokemon, right? It's not that. In this game, not only are you like literally shooting them, but also, some certain pals are attracted to certain workbenches, and they will sit there
Okay.
and grind. Okay, and they
Okay.
will work for you. Okay.
All
Now,
right. All right.
Okay.
The thing that is the
Bullet
problem
farm.
with that is they will complain about bad working conditions and they will get depressed, which means that you can
Yeah.
craft depression medications for these Pokemon as well and give it to them. That is
You
where
give them antidepressants?
yes. So the end game of the game is
Oh,
where
in
you
the
build
19,
this
like,
giant
20s?
that you build these like giant buildings where these Pokemon will just slave away until the end of time. That's literally the end game. Anyway, that's not even the
hilarious.
point of controversy, okay? The point of controversy is this. They had
Oh
a
my
game
God.
prior to this called Craftopia, which was already a subject of controversy. I couldn't tell you why, probably because it's a huge copy of Pokemon, or not Pokemon, of Minecraft. But now it's a subject of controversy because some of these pals are direct ripoffs of certain Pokemon, almost like Fakemons, if you will. Now, initially,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
subject
I
of
noticed
controversy
too.
was, oh, they were generated by AI, and come to find out they weren't. But and then they found out that they were They were like basically copying the models from Pokemon. That was also proven untrue. So now there isn't really a controversy. I think the biggest deal to take away
Should
from
be.
this is that how popular this game has got, because it topped the the active user on Steam, which means it actually topped CS:GO, which is a very big thing.
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
the fact that you can
What?
internship these things, and three, the fact that I know that they're not exact one-to-one things of Pokemon that was proven
Ooh.
untrue, but I mean it's pretty damn obvious what they were inspired by. There's a certain Pokemon in there that's just a fluffy black and white sheep. I'm like, that's just straight up
Yeah.
Lulu. There's a certain
Yeah.
pal.
I mean, Wooloo's just kind of a sheep too. Let's
Yeah,
be
but like
real.
if you look at the
Yeah.
pal and you look at Wooloo, I mean
Yeah,
they're
I've
like,
seen the sheep.
you
I've
know,
seen the sheep.
and then there's another one where it's like it looks like Gigantamax shiny Eevee, but like normal sized. Have you seen what Gigantamax Eevee looks like with all the floof
Yeah.
around him?
Yeah, I've seen
That's
that.
like it's basically that but smaller and it's shiny and then that's just its normal form.
There's one that's literally just like I look at it and I think that's Lucario.
Yeah, it's literally like
Whoa.
it may not be 1-to-1, but like
It's
It's
like you can
pretty-
tell that's Lucario. It's like
Yeah.
Egyptian almost.
There's
it's
one
an Egyptian
that-
Lucario.
there's one that looks like a combination of Gudra and what's the flower Pokemon from Black and White? The evolution of Petil.
Flabébé?
No,
Florges?
no, it's the evolution of Petilil.
Oh, Whimsicott?
What? No, that's Cottony's evolution. It's like the
Hold on,
one
Black
that
and
has like
White,
a
this is
flower
Gen
dress
5.
and like a flower crown, and then in Legends Arceus it got a new form.
Lilligant?
Lilligant, yes. So it looks like
Yes.
Lilligant and Gudra together, and it's like pretty damn obvious. So it's like even if they aren't 1-to-1, it's like it's pretty close. But another thing
Yeah,
is that
look, they
Pokemon
wanted
actually.
to make Pokemon. They wanted to make Pokemon with guns, and you know what?
They
They
did
did
it,
it. All
yeah.
the power to them. I
Wait a
think
minute.
copyright's too
And
long,
so-
anyways.
Other thing
Hold
too
on.
is that they're technically
Whoa.
legally okay because it is not Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's not a direct thing.
They're
But
very
as soon-
legally okay.
As soon as someone made a mod for it with actual Pokemon, instantly shut down. Instantly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm aware you can't. Okay.
No, he looks like my neighbor. That looks like my neighbor. My neighbor Totoro. I'm sorry.
I like that guy.
That guy right there.
I really
That,
like that guy.
yeah.
They're very
And
clearly
you
inspired.
can't tell me that's not a pink Sprigioto. Come on.
Yeah.
I
On
think-
top of that,
what's-
remember
what's
when I
his
said
name, like
Legends
Buzzbear?
Arceus? I don't know.
I look at that yellow Buzzbear guy with the big machine gun, and I can't help but think of Electivire.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I mean,
Yeah.
But
too.
another
That-
thing too is
wow.
like with all the
A weird mix
survival
between
elements.
Electivire, like Excadrill, and Pikachu.
Yeah.
He's like
Um,
he's a
And my
bear.
neighbor Taro, yeah.
When I say Legends Arceus inspired, I don't just mean in terms of the gameplay, in terms of like crafting things and stuff like that, but like it looks like literally the UI was ripped out of Legends Arceus as well a little bit, at least like the on-screen UI that's on screen at all times, not necessarily like the menus. And I mean, come on, the Pal Spheres. Could you come up with
Yeah.
anything different? That's literally Pokey and Ball, just different words.
They don't need to. I'm not mad about Pal Spheres. Okay, look. Here's the thing. I think they came up with an actual
Yeah.
game. Like
they're
Pokemon.
legally distinct to the point where they're okay.
Okay,
And
it's
actually,
it's not just legally distinct. Could you imagine, like, if Pokemon came out with a game where they actually gave the Pokemon like weapons and it was like crafting, like you built like a whole town. That would be one of the best-selling Pokemon games.
now here's the other
And-
thing.
What?
Back in the day, Pokemon used
Yeah.
to take down fan projects that were even remotely close to Pokemon, but only if they had a similar idea coming in the woodworks. Now, if we see Power World get taken down, we already know what the next Pokemon game is going to look like.
Look. Okay, here's the thing. They can't take down Power World. This is game. This not only can you not copyright gameplay, but this is distinct gameplay. No. This isn't
I know that they're not going to do
this is a completely different genre. It just so happens to have capture mechanics, which isn't even this. Not only not owned by Pokemon, but games before Pokemon had.
No, so there wasn't anything before Pokemon. In fact, Yu-Gi-Oh and all those others that might be similar to Pokemon either came out after or around the same time. And Digimon and all that. But again,
also,
there's another reason why. There's another reason why Power World isn't going to get taken down is because Pokemon already made a statement, although not directly commenting on Power World specifically. They already did respond saying, "Hey, we got mentions about a particular game, and we're happy for them." And I don't remember. Hold on, I'm gonna get the exact statement for you. But
I think I genuinely believe right now.
People are upset that this thing is supposedly. People are accusing this thing of being a Pokemon ripoff. That seems like the least concerning thing about this game.
It was like 3 different waves of controversy, right? It was the AI, it was the 1-to-1 scaling of Pokemon, and then just a blatant ripoff of Pokemon. And none of those were just factually correct.
I don't think this is a blatant ripoff of Pokemon. I think a lot of a lot of the PALs are very similar. But I think for the most part, I would call this an inspiration from Pokemon. I think this is a good game. I haven't played it, but it looks like a game.
Inquiries, well, it doesn't even look like a game because it's even more broken than Scarlet and Violet somehow. But anyway, Inquiries.
This is not true. It is an
early access.
Inquiries.
It's an indie game in beta.
Inquiries regarding other companies' games. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We are not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts of infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world, and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. Essentially, no. It's fine, but if we see something come up, we'll say something. But right now,
I completely understand why the Pokemon company's got their eye on Power World, but I mean, there's nothing they can really do right now. There's nothing to sue.
I mean, well, hold on.
The art style is very similar.
Now, to be fair, they could sue.
A lot of anime have similar art styles too.
They could sue and pull a Disney. And just wave them. Oh yeah, they will. Pokemon, that's bigger than Disney. They could just wave them fucking off and say, "Here's $1 million. Shut the fuck up and stop making games."
Real quick.
Yeah, okay, so they're gonna win a lawsuit though. That's just giving them an offer to stop.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Okay, so if they do find something, the profit, if any at all, is gonna be what brings them down, what gets, whoever the powers that be to take down that game. Because, an example of something similar, right? Do you know about that old YouTuber? So his name is Super Mario Logan, or it was before he was sued by Nintendo. So there was this guy and his brother, right? And they would get these little plushies, right, of Mario and Luigi and Princess Peach, and Nintendo didn't give 2 rips about them for years and years and years and years, right? But then, once Nintendo noticed that they were making money using these plushies in their videos, right? As soon as there was money, a significant amount of money being, generated towards them because they had their products, they sued them.
The problem with that is that was Mario and Luigi. They were using Nintendo's intellectual property. Whereas Power World is legally distinct, where even though that's clearly an Eevee, it's not an Eevee. So
Well, that's the thing. What I mean is, they didn't care until it was making the money. I was more talking about the liquid liquidation.
yeah,
How do you say that? The money.
that is probably
game.
why they responded, and many people reported Pal World to Nintendo because of this controversy. But that's
Yeah.
literally probably because it did become so big and bigger than probably people expected, and so people were like,
Yeah.
okay, this is not cool. Like, pretty clearly they're ripping off Pokemon, so they tried it, and Pokemon clearly doesn't care. So
Well,
Wait, no,
or
no,
they just
Pokemon-
can't touch
no,
them.
No. Pokemon cares. Pokemon cares a lot. They just can't touch them. Like, what?
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna
what-
say
Yeah.
it's either
No,
they don't
I
care
think
or they're
they
physically
can't win
unable
this
to cut.
lawsuit.
I really
They can't
don't.
win
Yeah.
the lawsuit.
I don't think they have enough time to care, because
No, dude, they care. They care.
no, there's no way.
If there was,
They have no time to care. When there's a new game releasing every goddamn year, a new fucking anime season, and new plushies to make, they don't give two fucks. They have making all the money in the world. They don't care.
look, I'm telling you, the stuff they have in there right now, they can't sue. It's not similar enough to get an actual.
I'm not saying that they
lawsuit
will.
going.
I'm not saying that. I think I already established that. But
Yeah, they just can't sue. I think they have their eye on Pal World, but it's not similar enough. They would lose the lawsuit.
all right, I think we should move on. Jet's already
yeah, you
dead.
wanna
Please move on. It's been like a full hour, and we have yet to talk about the actual thing we're here to talk about.
So we played Mario Wii. We talked about Mario Wii. We
Yeah, we
played
wanna
3D
split this
World.
up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we want to split this video into like 2 sections.
Sure.
I feel like a
we
better
talked
use of our
about-
time would just be to cut them into 2 different videos.
Nah, it wouldn't work like that. So we
Yeah,
talked
get
about
get a timestamp going.
just by
Yeah.
talking about it and not actually talking about it, we're wasting more time. So
Yeah, all right. Mario. Hey guys,
So,
welcome to the topic. We're talking about Mario
we-
Wonder. Hey guys, we played Mario Wonder in like 1 day. It was awesome.
wait.
I
Hold
suck.
up. You're jumping
What?
the gun. You're jumping the gun a little bit.
A little bit.
We
a little
talked
bit.
about Mario Wii, we
Okay.
played Mario Wii and we talked about Mario Wii, right? And what was interesting about that is that we played a 10-year-old game in 2022, and that game has the most unique and influential multiplayer in the entire series. Moving forward, we talked about 3D World. In that case, it was a 3D game. It had similar multiplayer aspects to Mario Wii. And the difference, the wrinkle there, is that it was online, and we talked about our experience with that. Now we are here in 2024, and we're talking, or 2023 actually, technically, with a brand new 2D Mario game, in which case we haven't even seen a 2D Mario game in a decade. So we're finally back with a new 2D Mario in over a decade. However, the multiplayer is a little different than we last remember it. This time, the multiplayer is less interactive, and on top of that, we also completed Mario Wonder in an entire day, which is another thing interesting to talk about. But before we get into that, I've already talked about my full thoughts on the game. I've done a review on the game, and I also had a big, long discussion with our friend over at GVG, being Brandon Miracle. So let's start off with your guys' general opinions of the game from when you guys, initially played it, as well as, or just kind of like your general thoughts about the game itself. Not necessarily our multiplayer experience, just the game. I've talked enough, so I'm going to hand off the mic to you guys for a little bit. I've talked enough about my feelings, so let me cry in the corner for a little bit while you guys just...
A new emotion.
Guys, I don't know about you guys. I love Mario Wonder. It's a great game, and I'm sitting here smiling just thinking about it while Jaden cries in that corner.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Dude, it's game of the year.
Technical
love the game.
difficulties.
Yeah. It's the boss fights could be better. It was, but ultimately, it was pure joy. It was pure Mario bliss joy. Haven't had that.
Mario-less joy?
2D Mario.
You said Mario-less
Mario-less.
joy. Remove
Hold
Mario.
on.
No,
Wait a
Mario
minute.
bliss joy.
Bliss.
Mario-less, like marvelous.
No,
Oh,
bliss.
got
Bliss.
it. Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Okay.
I thought you
Dude,
said Mario less. Like
No,
Yeah, me
less.
too.
Yeah, no, I did. I love Mario. I love
Now
Mario.
that-
A good Mario game is always a good way to get me to smile. I haven't had that in a 2D platformer from Mario in a while, and I love 2D platformers. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I love the bubble flower, and I don't really have a lot to say on the mechanics of the game. It's just fun. Mario's simple. Mario's fun. It makes me smile.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario is wonderful.
Indeed,
Yeah.
it is. If I may, this is a little embarrassing since I have been playing Mario games since the Wii came out.
it's
Jesus.
been about 2
Uh,
generations, but you know.
yeah, that was my first beaten Mario game. That's the first Mario game I've ever beaten.
Oh
Like the
man.
closest I came to beating a Mario game was Super Mario Galaxy 2. I got to the one world where you can go underwater, and that was it.
Well,
And I'm gonna say it was nice. I wasn't expecting the story or visuals to be so good. I honestly wasn't expecting the visuals
as
to
a
be.
person that plays gritty, almost realistic game, and then
Yeah,
from Dark Souls
yeah.
to
The
Mario.
video. Yeah, yeah. From actually more recently, Lords of the Fallen to Mario. Yeah, no, that was a very pleasant change. I was very pleasantly surprised by how well everything worked, and I
How
really
whimsical
did
it
like.
was.
Yeah, it was whimsical, and the side
Whimsy.
profile that they had, I liked that a little bit more than like, for example, New Super Mario Bros. U, right? Like, of course, it's at that side profile still, but this is a little different.
You can see their face.
I would say,
Like
yeah,
before
like it's not just like
It's weird because
it's
when we
it's like
first
this.
saw it debut, we thought it was like 2D, like hand drawn sprites. But it's actually some like well designed 3D models that were
Yeah,
pasted in a way that to make it look 2D, which honestly I'm not sure which is more impressive, either a sprite based game that's hand drawn or whatever the hell they concocted with this. So
yeah,
you know what it reminded
so you're
me of?
comparing this to Cuphead?
No, no, no. But you know what
That's
it
what Cuphead
reminded
is.
me of? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. But I think what the game reminded me of in terms of graphic the most would be like movies like Into the Spider Verse, Across the Spider Verse, or the TMNT movie. Like the way this new crisp animation style is. It's interesting to see that brought to a game instead of keeping it to like a cinematic area. I know it's not the same
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure if you were to pause the Mario game at any point, it wouldn't look like it was right there in front of you, like the feel that some of those other movies will give you. But I did like how, for example, like going into the background, while everything stayed the same, it didn't like. Of course, you focused in the background, but that was just because your character was there. Nothing changed. There was no like, oh, now we're more focused on the background and it's like blurry right where you just were. No, it's still doing the exact same thing. And so I thought that was a really cool mechanic because I don't recall if there's any other like Mario games that have done that before where you're
no,
in the background
not
like that.
many Mario games, but it was kind of a
Just
trend with a
Donkey
lot of
Kong.
indie 2D games for
Yeah.
a while. A lot in the later
Like
2000s, but Mario wasn't
uh,
around in the latter 2000s, so or at least 2D Mario's. So
well, yeah, I was gonna say, hold on, because it's
yeah,
been
2D
around for a minute.
2D Mario wasn't really around in the latter 2010s. So when that was really a
Yeah.
big thing with Donkey Kong and Mutant Muds
Oh
and
yeah.
Shovel
Yep. Yep.
Knight, I think.
I don't
Shovel
remember that
Knight.
happening. I don't remember that happening in
Mm,
Shovel Knight.
Well,
I
there's a couple
remember,
indie games that did it. So.
like Little Nightmares. I know it's like kind of
Oh yeah,
not
probably that. Like similar,
entirely
like
applicable.
layering type thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah. like the story wasn't back there, but you could go out, to like the background and like just interact for a little bit,
It's
So
adding a 3D element to an otherwise 3D game.
yeah, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
the other
2D,
way
you mean,
around.
right?
I
Yeah,
just want
And
to.
adding a 3D element
Adding
to
a
an
3D
otherwise
element to a
2D
2D
game.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, I really love the stylization.
Mm,
I've never
yeah.
been a big fan of realistic graphics, and I'm just really happy that stylization is really taking over in
Mm.
a lot of media
'Cause
lately.
With all the
Yeah.
new graphical improvements and stuff, there are ways to take advantage of it, right? There are ways to implement. I mean, there's no ray tracing in Mario Wonder, but there's ways to implement ray tracing and things to make things look absolutely stunning. We just don't need a Call of Duty every fucking year, like we don't need,
Yeah.
Exactly.
because even like Ghost
Thank
of
you.
Tsushima, like that's a
Oh,
fairly
yeah.
realistic looking game. I mean, there's a little bit of style to it, but like games that go above and beyond just to make their game look like art. Hi-Fi Rush is a great example of that.
Oh, yeah, are you
It's a
kidding me?
beautiful game, and
I love the
it-
cell shading and the music in that.
and there's not many games that take advantage of it because big old Western America, we gotta have our fucking guns and real dudes in our video games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Jet,
almost feel. Oh, sorry, my bad.
yeah, Jet. How about you? What was your favorite part of Mario Wonder?
the game itself.
Oh yeah,
I really. Guys always talk like into these really extreme detail, and I always feel incompetent because my favorite parts are always like the ridiculously simple things, and by extension, the simple.
Hey.
And by extension, my answers are really simple, and it makes me feel lazy.
No, don't feel like that at all.
you just like the simple things. That's the extent of my thoughts on Mario Wonder 2. I'm gonna be real.
I like the power ups. Like
Yeah!
power ups were my favorite thing. My
Favorite
favorite was the
power-up?
drill power. Favorite
Yeah.
power up was the drill mushroom, mostly because it completely breaks the game.
Yeah.
They
Dude.
were really cool.
I love the
agree.
drill.
Seriously,
I love the drill.
equip a high jump badge. Get the freaking the drill mushroom. You pretty much just trivialized the entire game.
Yeah, it's nice.
Like
Yeah,
we didn't use
Is it the spin jump?
mostly because there's 90% of the time you're either on the ceiling or it's just a flat ground. You can just go into the ground and just.
Yeah.
The drill
And if
in
it's
the
not
sand-
that, then you can go to the ceiling and just go.
the drill in the Sand Kingdom area is so nice.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah?
because because the quicksand gets you like stuck in there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some levels where the drill doesn't work, and I get that, but like, my rankings of the power ups are elephant, drill, and then the bubble flower. Those are my rankings.
Mm.
I love the drill mushroom so low. That's like the best one.
It's
What
in
the hell,
middle.
man?
It's in the middle, man. I like it more than the elephant. I just like bubble the most.
I need a haircut.
If I may, if we're talking
I'm
about
making that
power-ups,
obvious.
I do like the drill and the bubble power-ups is a lot, right? But I
Yeah.
think what was kind of a really big surprise was the slime, honestly.
Oh yeah, the
Like
transformations.
that was pretty cool to see. I did like the slime a lot. But no, yeah, do you guys know who I think it's Cass Vanderpool, do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's a YouTuber,
I
and he
do
makes
not.
the ultimate whatever recap. And in his recap,
that
it showed
guy.
the bubble and how like he just threw the bubble and it was like started floating the enemy up and they just disappeared. And I like that you could do that. Just turn them into coins. Just they're gone. That was hilarious.
Yeah. All right.
But,
Yeah, dude, guys, did you enjoy being a Goomba? I got to be a Goomba.
That was sick.
I got
that
to
was
be a
pretty
Goomba.
cool.
I hated being a Goomba. I still haven't beat that level on
What's
my personal
stressful?
profile. The
Dude,
one in World S. I I still haven't beat the Goomba level in World S on my personal file.
Yeah, dude, I
so
did-
stressful.
Dude, I love turning into a Goomba. It's like the best. I also
Why?
love
You
all the
can't
nabbing.
jump. You're not very. You can't jump. You're not very fast.
Yeah,
Freaking
I'm
stresses you.
glad
Thinking
it's
literally
only,
everything can kill you in one hit.
yeah, I'm glad it's only 2 levels, but it's so fun. Just I don't I like not even the gameplay. I just enjoy the novelty of being a Goomba and the Nabbit transformations too. Like the standees. Like I saw all the Nabbit transformations on the standees. You guys see Nabbit Goomba? That guy rocks.
Yeah,
I don't
remember
actually
when we were
think we
like getting
saw
all this.
Namek
We were
Goomba.
like getting all the standees, and we're like, Boulder Mario,
Yo.
Yeah.
Goomba
Get it in
Nabbit.
sync.
Oh, I thought you meant like playing as them. Yeah, that was awesome how we kind of just kept that going.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I looked back. Jet is the one who started it.
Yeah, that was that was top tier.
All
Why am I
right.
shiny?
Well, now that we've kind of got your guys' opinions of the game out the way, because you guys haven't said anything, and I've already stated my opinions in the past on previous videos. Now we kind of want to get into the nitty gritty. So again, like I stated before, like this series was quite interesting because we were debating on whether or not we should do it online or in person, and it just seems like the online for this game is not it. It's an interesting concept.
Yep.
It's very
Yeah.
Soulsborne like, and I think it's a great addendum for those who.
What?
It's a great addendum for those who are playing.
Oh, wait, nah. I
It's a,
get what he's talking about when he says the multiplayer is Soulsborne like.
yeah. So
Yeah.
when you're playing by yourself and you have that added help of and seeing the random players.
I thought you
coming
used
in,
something like
Um,
Soulsborne for a Mario game.
That
And-
last
It's Mario
kind of
with a
Soulsborne.
sword
And,
fighting Bowser.
when you're online with friends and you're able to do the races, which, by the way, if you're subscribed to Patreon, we may or may not have a video of that coming soon.
Like and subscribe.
Don't yawn after that. I'm trying to
No,
promote our
dude, I'm
not
Patreon.
tired. I worked.
Yawning.
I was
Giving a
at
thumbs up.
today. I hurt my arm actually. I have
It's
that
okay.
tape
It's okay.
stuff
Don't
on.
worry. It's okay.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Sorry.
But like, if you're subscribed to our Patreon, we may or not have an online video. But if you're playing with friends and if you're playing with friends and you do those races, they're pretty fun. But we were just like, okay, we're not getting that Mario Wii experience that we want. To be fair, the multiplayer in this game isn't like Mario Wii, and it's more like just playing a single-player adventure multiplayer, which is kind of like what we were more so looking for rather than the online. It's a little unfortunate. So what do you guys think about the multiplayer experience locally?
Honestly, if I may, just real quick, I think I would have much more. Like, if I had the choice, I would have just done what we did. Because getting to see your reactions, like, in person, of
hearing
how
it?
we had another something's wrong incident,
Yeah.
that was amazing. All right, something's wrong from Super Mario Bros. U. That was amazing, right? And getting to see another one of those situations when we were trying to do what's it like the platform movement where you have to ground pound on the platform.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome, And so I
God.
think that having that companionship with your friends in the same room as you, just
not the
laughing,
same.
and enjoying, and focusing together. I think it's.
You can't
it's better
capture
than-
that online.
Yeah.
No, you can't. I don't think you
I
can.
mean, I think we had a great time.
can't.
I think we had a great time when we played 3D World, but there was just something that was
Oh, yeah.
lost. A lot of personality
Missing.
was lost,
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think it's a
A lot
lot more
angrier.
convenient to play online. And
yeah, maybe.
So
Four chairs across.
So, I'll just say my opinion. I fucking hate you guys. I never want to play games with you ever again. No.
Wow.
Wow.
No, I had a great
okay.
time. Although, because I am very plan oriented, I will say my anxiety was through the roof. We should not have. We should probably not do that in one day again, and we probably shouldn't do it in
like 2 days.
literally like 13
Oh, you want to talk about
hours.
anxiety?
No, my anxiety was
Buddy.
through the roof because I wasn't like my my family was just not like super happy about like the whole thing, so I was just like,
Yeah,
all
we
right,
were rushed at the very
let's
end.
just kind of keep it going, and then
I
we
got
like
I got my I started my test due that night at 11:30.
yeah,
It was
and
due at
Oh.
midnight.
we kind of just
You
hit
did it though.
I got it in.
we hit a wall with
I literally had finals literally in 2 days.
yeah. and we also just
Yeah.
hit a wall with that last level. So no, I had a great time. It's just like we should probably not do that in one day again.
Probably. It was. I will always remember that though. That is a core memory now.
You know what's
Core
even
memory,
worse, and
right.
I don't even know if you guys know if we. I don't even know if you guys know that I did this, but I actually stayed up and finished the game, and
What?
I got the rest of the standees.
Oh my god.
I literally sat there for like 2 or 3 more hours grinding purple coins.
Oh.
No.
And I got all the standees. You'll see it in the final version of the video, but I actually finished it. So we can say
did
that
you
we
at
have
least
a
do
That's rough,
the
buddy.
standee sort of tradition type
what?
deal?
What do you mean?
Purple Mario, and not
No.
actually, but Bubble Mario. Did you actually?
Bubble
do that first?
Mario!
Oh no, I didn't do that. I just showed me getting the standees and then showing
Yeah.
how I grinded for hours.
Ugh.
So it was like
Oh,
2
man.
hours to get the last 20 standees. So yeah, I did it for you guys. If you like the
Thank
video, I will do it again.
We all appreciate it,
Yes.
players included.
Yeah.
I will say that again, it's not released yet, so we don't know how the public feels. But man, that final level is just something for the history books. Like I've seen some other multiplayer playthroughs of this game, and they struggled, but they were just laughing the whole time. But we were so dedicated. Like I don't think that could ever, one, be replicated,
There?
and two, I don't think it could, like, I think our reaction of that was so authentic to us and our personalities, and for the first time I was like, dang, like this is us, right? Like
Yeah.
that brief moment of release when we finally finished that level and we all like
That dopamine jump.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's something
What?
that I never
I will always
experienced.
remember. I will always remember hitting the top of that flagpole.
Yeah. So it's something that I will
Oh,
I
always
could
messed
literally feel the panic in your voice when you said, "Oh my god, get the top of the flagpole."
yeah.
Yeah.
I will always just cherish that moment because again, one of the two goals that I had, not just meeting Chugga, the other was to somehow build a community and make friends of people along the way. And although I haven't quite reached that point because we have gotten the views and we've gotten some people in our comments, but not really a whole lot. But,
Mm.
you know,
Better
I
for
didn't,
worse.
you know, not to get too sappy, but like I didn't really have friends back in the day. So like that
Oh.
moment
Yeah, it
was
does.
just like, holy shit, not only did we just have this huge thing that we did together, but also we were able to share that with the world, which is part of why I got into content creation in the first place, is because it's sharing those very moments that are kind of lost to time on YouTube, and there may not be a single soul that watches that episode, but I will
It
know
will
that
be my
that moment
favorite.
will be saved
I'll watch
in
it.
Yeah.
our hard drives, in our brains, and our souls forever.
Yeah.
You best believe I'm watching that thing all the way through. I'm sending that's the one I send to all my friends and family.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely a moment that's like the biggest moment that I remember, probably my favorite moment, because that's just that grind, and then that finally that beating moment, and then before that there really was, that was like, yeah, I was having a lot of fun, but that moment really like sold it to me that this was the most fun I've had in my life right there. So was a great
Hey, don't
time.
count out Disneyland. That was awesome.
Okay, Disneyland and Nintendo World were great,
fucking-
okay, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
bug.
it
Bug.
was all
Bug.
leading up to this, right? It was one good
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
after another.
Yeah, bug.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
Bug?
When we
Who's
finally beat that level, Wait,
Yeah.
I forgot everyone's name. God damn it.
Fair.
It's okay.
That's
Yo.
Toonsy / Joe.
Joe, not
Yeah.
Pug. Pug said he's another guy. Fuck, I'm so bad
No,
at names. God damn it, why am I like this?
It's okay. It's okay.
I feel
Okay.
you.
I know who you want to.
You don't now. You
What
don't
is
even
it?
remember you're gonna say.
You gotta ask it.
Anyway, did that not feel like beating a boss in Dark Souls?
It honestly did. Just the workup to like it
The
felt
build
like
up, the fucking
yeah.
the
Yeah. It felt like
fact
when
that
you
we kept
finally
hitting-
fight. Sorry.
You're going on. You're going through the game. You're feeling good. You're feeling confident. You run into a wall and you feel like shit. Then you keep throwing yourself out the wall and you feel like you're starting to bleed against it. You leave for like, God knows how long. Just do something differently. You calm down. You come back and you start only to immediately start reopening those wounds. And then you finally fucking beat it, and you just freak the hell out.
Yeah, and you're happy. You're like,
But see, with Dark Souls,
we did it!
you had that experience alone. You scream at the top of your lungs. Your mom bursts in the door. What the fuck are you yelling about?
Ugh.
But with us, our
the
parents
reference.
were there, but we got to experience that together, and I got to punch Jet in the face.
What?
Yeah, you may have missed this, Joe, but fucking he punched. Yeah, Jay Netflix nailed me in the face.
Oh dang! Yeah, I think I did miss that.
Yeah, if
Also,
you,
Jade,
if
you're
I heard
frozen
about
But
that, I
tonight.
forgot.
it was more than just like, you know, man, that we beat that Dark Souls boss, but we beat that Dark Souls boss together, baby.
It's
Yeah.
the power of friendship. It's that pure Mario.
Power of
energy,
friendship
power
and
of
having a
friendship.
shitload of lives.
Yeah.
All right, so I had
Yeah.
my 2
Well,
cents. That was my
not me.
favorite moment. But what about you guys? What else was fun about that experience?
Oh man.
Hey, maybe
I
you're
think-
a foil to me. Maybe you're like, yeah, I love doing it today. It was like a challenge.
Well, no, yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
no, I do wish we made. I wish we, I don't know, spread this across 2 days, because seriously,
Yeah.
staying up that late freaking hurt.
Honestly,
Would
like
probably be
when we're all
smarter.
done with school and either we live in our own places or some people want to buy a YouTuber house together. You would
Yeah,
get your
that
own
would
room,
be
Jet.
okay.
You would get your own room, Jet.
Don't
However,
worry, we're not doing sharesies.
however we do that, I think it's gonna be
Are
a
you
lot
frozen?
easier to do
Hold on.
this. And even if we don't live together, we're gonna be like, oh, you know, we'll have you come over, stay the night, and then we'll do this over multiple days. It's gonna be so much easier to do this later. Right now,
Oh, yeah.
it's like we kind of had no choice.
Yeah, because like I
We had
was
to do this now.
relocating.
Yeah,
There was
like in the future
stuff
we can
coming
do
up.
more things together, but as long as they're online. But we kind of didn't really
Yeah.
have a choice. Like with the next thing that we're doing, which is Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Once Chet figures
Whoa.
out his capture card.
Oh.
That one won't include you, Joe. I'm sorry. We tried.
Wait, what do I need to join? No, just kidding.
You need a
Alright.
capture card and a Switch and a good computer. Those are the barriers of entry.
I don't have $2,000.
I
Or
know.
wait, no, like 3-4 grand.
You would,
Oh, crap,
you'd
I'm
probably
Unless I just
Power.
buy an
I
Alienware.
feel that I'm a broke college student.
so.
Yeah, I'm a broke college. Same.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? I've been talking too
Hey,
much. This
you
isn't
know-
my show. This is
You
our
have
show.
not been
This
talking
is
too much.
This is Joe. This is
I'm gonna-
Joe and Liam and Jet. This is as much as your show as it is my show. Hell, it is now more of Joe's show than it is my show, because you're a new member.
Hey,
Oh.
you know what? I got one thing to say. They're the most fun Mario water levels I've ever played.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
Water levels in
feel
Mario games.
threatened by the water. You know, it's
Water
it's
didn't
a
make you want to
child.
pull my hair out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never hated the Mario water levels, but the Mario water levels were fun only because of the dolphin kick. I wasn't
made
a
it
fan of the
actually
leaping
bearable.
smackerel. I wasn't a fan of the leaping smackerel levels so much, but the dolphin kick was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely really nice to have because I'm just thinking back to um, the scarring that Mario Bros. U left me with
We.
that. We, sorry, yeah.
You know what's
We
crazy is
Um,
that everyone talks about the
I'm a bad
diversity of the badges and how cool they are and how many different combinations you can have in tandem with power-ups. But realistically, we all know you're only going to have 3 badges the entire game. One is the
yeah,
first badge they give you, which is the gliding badge, which is basically every
yeah.
overpowered item in 2D Mario. The
yeah.
propeller cap, the wing, or not
Yeah.
the feather,
Tanuki,
the
Tanuki
tanuki.
suit.
Cape,
Yeah, it's like all
cape.
that in one, and you
yeah,
get the power of the elephant. And
yeah.
then when you're in the water levels, you use the dolphin kick, which you also get right away. And then if you really want to, not everybody does, but if you really want to, you can upgrade to the spin jump, which some might argue is better.
Oh
I
yeah.
finished the game with the cap, but
I did the spin jump. I love the spin jump. It's great.
so it's like,
And you
That
know
yeah,
shit's
what?
badges
probably
and stuff
great.
are cool, but like realistically, you use probably like 3.
Are you really gonna actually do that? Yeah.
Other and
I
the
mean,
crazy
the
thing
crouching,
is that
the super
it,
jump, the crouch and jump thing. Use that in tandem with the. I said this earlier, but the crouch jump, the charge. I
drill.
think it's called the charge.
Yeah,
The
that one's
charge
not
jump
great.
and the drill pretty much completely breaks the game
Yeah,
Yeah,
permanently.
most of
yeah.
them
Every
are
level
really
becomes a
either
cakewalk.
really fun or they're more of a hindrance than they do help you. Like, who is ever
Yeah.
in the right mind, unless they're doing a challenge video for YouTube, gonna use the invisible one? Who?
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't like, oh, there's secret areas in the level with a bunch of coins
Yeah,
or whatever.
maybe once you've like beaten the game, I've thought about it. I might go through the entire game with one of those like really hard rainbow badges. I just want to like play. It's a good excuse to go through the game again.
Now, what's even
But I will
crazier?
say, hey, you want to know? I just want to say, you want to know which one is underrated? I actually used quite a bit. It was really fun. The double jump one. It's not a triple jump. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's like you
The
jump
spin
and then you
jump?
hit the ground. No. Like it's the one where you jump and then immediately after you land on the ground, you jump again and then your jump is higher. And you can
Oh,
just
like the
if you just like
pseudo
keep
triple jump.
yeah, the pseudo triple jump. I really like that one.
Hmm.
That one's fun.
I know what's even worse than all of those badges. We went through all that work on that hard level, and the only thing we get
That
is a badge that makes the game a cappella.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's all like vocal. Like
And you
all the
know
stuff
what?
is done in
You
your
know
mouth.
what? It's a badge of honor. You can play that game in front of your friend with the acapella off. Like you can show like your little brother or something, and they'll have to be like, how did you get that? How did you get that?
Mhm.
You just
Beat the
never tell them.
game.
Yeah, beat the game.
Really beat the game. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything
Think
else,
you're
wow.
guys?
my level, nerd. No, it's good. Let's see. I think I liked that they kind of made Bowser goofy. It like silly, more cartoonish.
He turned into a castle. It's the funniest crap I've ever seen.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in the past, it's always I'm gonna steal the princess and marry her, right? And it's super serious kidnapping. No, no, this time he just became a castle.
See, what's crazy is that you
I
And
missed
will
his
take
out.
dad.
over the world by
and his-
turning
See,
myself into a castle.
the thing.
Genius!
What's really funny is that you missed out on a plethora of games where Bowser is just that. What's crazy is that 90% of the
Yeah.
time they're like, "Oh man, Bowser is all his only personality is kidnapping Peach," when that could be anything farther from the truth in the Mario
Yeah,
RPGs.
yeah,
And that was an idea that Nintendo came up with.
Especially Mario
That's
and
an
Luigi
idea.
Bowser's Inside Story.
Even though Mario and Luigi
Bowser's a
is a
furry.
Nintendo game, uh, even though Mario and Luigi is a Nintendo game, the idea of making Bowser a silly character came from Square Enix. of all places.
Really?
Yeah, so the Goofy
No way.
Bowser.
You mean the guys
Super
that made
Mario
Final
RPG?
Fantasy be silly?
Yes. They're very
Mm,
silly, actually.
I'll have to
Kingdom
Cloud and Sephiroth.
Hearts. Cloud is
Well,
actually
okay.
a very goofy character, which you
I
wouldn't
know,
expect.
but like,
But no,
you
when they
know what I
made Mario
mean.
RPG, the first instance of Bowser being goofy was there, and they pretty much used that as a template for Bowser going into Paper Mario
Mm.
and Mario and Luigi. So if you missed out on a lot of great Bowser moments, that's probably why, for a lot of people, Bowser is their favorite character because of those games, not because of the two
Mm.
Yeah.
mainline games, not at all because of the mainline games, because the mainline games do not do Bowser justice ever. So
Mm.
Yeah. He
Except for this
he,
one.
he doesn't have a personality.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
like
one,
they have like they talk for once, so
yeah, that's better than any other game in Mario Odyssey. Like there's dialogue, but like he he, he doesn't say anything of note. In this game, he's like, "I'm gonna put on a
I
rockin'
forgot
show
there
for
was
you."
dialogue. I forgot there was dialogue from
And every
Bowser
time
on
that
it.
Yeah, and he
like
kept changing how grand the show was gonna be.
how big of a
It's
nut
like
he was gonna
super,
bust.
super mega, super mega
Amazing.
ultra, super mega ultra max. You
I
know,
think he
it's
went
like,
to amazing.
My
Yeah.
amazing wonder. No, my amazing stupendous wonder. He's gonna bust a nut. Okay, like.
yeah, okay.
Wow, brutal. Come on, Disney.
True.
Hold up, YouTube. Come on,
Anyway.
we're not controversial yet. Alright, I tried.
Yet?
We've been
Can't blame me for
controversial.
trying.
Nobody listens to us, so we can say the stupidest shit we could say.
Until
Actually,
we
I
become
do
popular.
condone. No, do not.
Whoa, whoa,
No!
whoa, whoa,
Okay.
whoa.
I'm
Not there
choking.
yet.
I'm choking.
User
But
left
my
your
point.
channel.
Hey.
My point
Hey.
is
You
that
don't
we
live in
could
a
say
it's a joke thing for us now,
could-
Chotin.
we could
You know
say
what,
the
make it
most
out of context
controversial
clips.
stuff in the world, and nobody would care because
Mm.
no one watches our show. So
Well,
Hey,
that's
they
as of
will,
right
maybe.
now.
Yeah,
It's only a
right
matter
now.
of time before something
yeah,
happens
we're
where we
either
take
gonna
off.
get big, or we're gonna
stay small.
No. Let's just
We're
say
gonna
we
get
get
swole.
really big and we get 1 million subscribers, and someone's gonna come back to this video and say, "Let's cancel Jaden because he said he condoned Chugga's actions 10 years ago."
And it could
Yeah,
happen
they're
like,
gonna have to take that out of context.
I
man.
know.
yeah. Well, okay, so take for example someone who had that happen to him, Dream.
Dream. Okay, that's a different
Dream.
situation because Dream.
Yes, but
All of the accusations were wrong except for the speedrunning
Yes.
one, which he admitted to,
yeah.
which was an
Yeah.
accident. But
real
everything else
quick-
was that he proved them wrong, and they all disappeared
Yeah.
off the face of the planet. This
But
is
what I
different
mean was-
because
Yeah, I
Chugga
I know.
not only
I know.
probably did these things, but also admitted to it and apologized, like
Yeah.
normal people should. So
Yeah.
Well, what I mean was about like the channel, you know, like us, like how
Oh.
one day Dream just went poof because what was it, like Mr. Beast or something,
I don't even know.
right? Whoever gave him a
Well,
shot
Minecraft was,
really
like-
made him popular.
Minecraft just kind of blew up in 2019, and he was kind of like the spearhead of that.
It's gonna have well him
I'm
and
sure
Technoblade,
PewDiePie was
but,
the spearhead of that, not
Yeah.
Both
Dream.
of them. But,
but
Yeah,
real
pretty sure it
quick,
was-
what I mean is like we could have that moment where something happens where we just become like millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of views, right? Out of nowhere, and then, like you said, someone could be like, he condoned sexual harassment or whatever, right? And
he
then
was actually
that's all it
10 years
takes.
ago, before he even started YouTube, he was actually grooming me. Like
Like
I've never met you in
that's
my
so
life. Like
like, and that's why I'm being cautious what I say here. I don't know if you've noticed,
Hey,
but I
look,
have not.
look, you go
You
back
know.
to like early Mario Wonder. You know, you made some comments about Prince
Yeah.
Florian.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, Joe, I think people will still look for. They will dig, man. No, they will dig.
I kind of forgot about the Hitler references.
wait, what? Why did we talk about
I'm telling
Hitler?
you, all he needed was a little leaf stash. I
Oh my
swear.
God, no. Let's not go there.
No,
you know
it's
what?
'cause-
I looked back at the haircut. I sort of see it.
Oh my
Only
Well,
a
it's
I
because-
still don't.
It's
Wait, what are
because
we
that
talking
that
about?
side com. Nothing.
We're talking
nothing,
about the
actually,
edgy.
nothing.
I'm
Nothing.
gonna just
We're not talking about
summarize.
anything.
Can I talk? Y'all not gonna
Yeah.
interrupt me again? Alright, I'm just gonna summarize. We were just discussing the edgy stuff Joe was talking about during the playthrough.
Oh, okay. I don't even
You know all
remember.
the stuff.
He never yodeled, guys.
You know, here's
He
probably
never
the
yodeled.
reason. Here's probably the reason why no one watches our videos is because like I was told by another content creator like if you can't, as an editor, if you can't rewatch the content, then your content probably isn't good. Now, that's not to say that you guys did a bad job or anything. I just have a really hard time rewatching any content that I make because, well, I'm like, well, I don't really like watching myself on camera, and he's like, well, you should be able to relive the good moments and the funny moments, like all the stuff that we went through during the LP, and I'm like, I already experienced that. Do I need to experience it again? He's like, yes, you can. That's possible. Um, and
That's a good point.
and I have a hard time doing that, and that's probably my detriment as an editor, is I have a hard time actually going through the footage, but it's mostly because I don't have all the time in the world right now, and back in the day when I
What
was
if we
in high
paid an
school,
editor?
I did. We kind of do, but I don't have infinite money, so I'm not Yakuza 8 Infinite Wealth, which just came out, by the way.
Oh yeah,
So
actually,
I
I
don't
pre-ordered that one.
Woo! Yakuza!
I don't have all the money in the world, and if I did, I mean, Kia is already open to that possibility. He's already edited a few videos for us, but I only do that when I'm like absolutely like only certain things. I'll be like, okay, well, like I can't really edit this, so I'll hand it off to Trainer, or I'll hand it off to Pug, or I'll hand it off to someone I know that can edit, but. When I know I can handle, I usually do it myself just because I don't have the money in the world. And you guys don't either. And I really would hate to ask you to pitch in on anything because I made a decision myself. For example, I'm trying to get our intro updated because it uses our old logo in it. On top of that, I also commissions Z to get those new things made, which it's up there, by the way. Look next to Joe. It's there. It's super cool.
Real quick, if they see this, thank you. You did an amazing job with what I described.
Yeah,
For Jaden to commission you.
So
Anyways.
I have the intro isn't made yet, but it does come at a cost, and usually I'm the one that has to front that because I made the decision myself. Did you guys ask me to update the intro? No, I was like, you know what? I need to update the intro. That means I have to spend $120
It did need an update, and we did,
on
and
updating
I
the
for
intro.
one,
So
I do like the new intro. I did see it. I do like the new
it's not
intro.
made. What do you mean? It's not made yet. What are you talking about? What do you mean? You haven't seen it yet?
Yeah.
What the hell did you send us a few days ago?
I
I'm
don't
very.
know.
I
sent you
not
the.
been getting enough sleep.
I don't know, but
Joke's
it
on
hasn't.
you. I'm going to be taking editing classes and computer design and all that so we could further the YouTube
Am I
channel.
passing now?
Ooh.
Joke's on you. Haha. I'm going into media design and all that stuff and production.
So you thought
Good
it
for
was
you.
you thought it was me editing the video, but it was me, Dio. You thought it was Jaden editing the
it was me
video,
the
but it
whole
was me,
time.
Dio.
Okay.
Anything else
That's
about
a
Mario
thing.
Wonder
Everything's a
before
JoJo's
Jet
rap.
has a freaking panic attack?
I'm not gonna have a panic attack. I'm just
Dying.
questioning whether or not. No, I just need to rethink of my sleep schedule.
Alright, anything
yeah.
else about Mario Wonder before?
Because like going to bed at midnight is not, in fact, enough sleep.
Yep.
Either that, or I just wasn't paying attention because of all the
See,
classes. God.
talking about sleeping isn't going to help your sleep schedule. So, is there anything else that you would like to talk about Mario Wonder? I hate to be the guy that like is saying let's wrap it up, but
The straight man.
I feel like
we
I'm
all
being
need a
rude.
straight man sometime. Yeah, nah, you're not. You're being the
I'm
straight
a
man.
straight man. What?
No, stop.
Duh!
Come on,
Straight
just
man.
answer the question.
I'm out of stuff to talk about. Yeah. Nah.
I think the last thing that I guess was probably the most important to me was that for the first time, I think, in any like video game I've played, I feel like Super Mario Wonder brought me closer to my friends and family instead of using a video game as a means to escape from that aspect.
You know, it's kind of weird because I almost like kind of forced you guys to be friends because like I was like independently friends with Jet at one school, and then I was independently friends with Liam at one school, and you're my
And you
cousin, so
glued
that
us
doesn't even
together.
count. And Matt and Hylian were my friends from internet. Matt and Hylian kind of knew each other, but I was independently friends with them. They were independently friends with each other. And then Pug is separate from all y'all. I was only friends with him. And then
And
I was just
now,
like, you know what? Let's make a podcast together. And somehow, I guess you guys hit it off. I basically forced you guys to be friends.
You introduced us. You
unintentional,
didn't force us to be friends, Jaden.
yeah,
You
Yeah, I mean,
introduced us to new people.
All right, like I
that's how
said,
yeah.
friendship
let's make
works.
sure there's continuity here. Do I have consent to make you guys friends? Like,
What? It already happened. Yes. What?
We became friends, yeah, no, we became friends. You didn't force anything. You put us in a
Yeah,
room
no,
and we
it
hit
just
it off.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't force
It's
Jack,
like,
Jaden.
yeah.
like
No,
it's just
that's
crazy to me
You
that
brought us together.
I brought you guys together, and you and Jed are making videos together, and Matt and Liam talk about stuff
well
on their
soon.
own, and uh, Pug hasn't done anything with anybody. He the way he sees it is that
Pug's
you
doing
guys.
their own
Well, I
thing.
guess he's kind of friends with Joe because apparently he's been messaging Joe behind my back.
Wow.
Occasionally, he'll be like, "Hey, have you seen this?" I'll be
There's
like,
no
"Ha
bad
ha,
blood. I'm
funny."
just joking,
Um,
but he
I
literally
need to talk
sees you
about.
guys as like my friends.
My
So,
friend.
well, I'm
oh,
glad you guys.
well,
I'm glad you guys like see each other as friends, and you guys can say that you're my friends
yeah,
because that's not something that
I
was.
need to be a better friend.
I, I was a
I
person
need to be
that
a better.
same.
I was a person that didn't have friends back in the day. So seeing this, it brings a tear to my eye. So it was
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, and that's actually kind of along the lines of what I was saying just a little bit ago. Sorry, Jet. You can go. I just want to get this off my chest real quick. But like I said, like I use video games as a form of escaping from reality. The fact that for the first time, the very first video game I played that brought me closer to people in real life was Super Mario Wonder was just I think an added um how do you say that? Like an unforeseen um it was a good thing. I don't know though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the
Benefit?
words to say that. Yeah, benefit. Yeah, it was an unforeseen benefit. I was like I said, I didn't expect that at all. And so it was really nice to just have a video game not be an escape from reality, but to share that with someone else.
Nintendo has a great
I
way of doing.
always viewed. I always viewed video games as my ultimate connection to everyone in my life because video games were what brought me and my brothers together. It's what, when I was really young, it's what is what brought me closer to dad. Not dad, mom. Well, both of them, honestly. And it's how I met all of you.
Yeah,
And
it's
yeah, I certainly do use it as an escape. A lot more than I'm willing to admit, even more so now than ever. But honestly, it feels nostalgic playing video games again with other people and being friends with them that way. Although I will admit, I do need to be a better friend and actually get everyone's names down so I don't mistake Joe for Pug again.
It's okay.
Hey, look, that has nothing to do with the quality of
Like, seriously,
friendship.
back in high school, I literally never learned my classmates' names, and I have not done anything but regret it since.
yeah.
It sucks. Please, for the love of God, learn people's names.
I just want to echo what
It's
you
a
guys
bad
were.
idea.
I want to echo what you guys were saying too, and I can't. I apologize for beating this dead horse into the ground about not having friends, but like I use video games
Get
as
away.
an escape too. Like I didn't
I
have
think
any
we all
friends, and
do,
so like
some degree.
I was like, that was my only friend, was my little 3DS in my pocket. So the
Yeah.
fact that I was able to find friends through a shared passion of stupid fucking Mario games, like, you know.
Hey.
Yeah.
Come on
Hey.
now.
Hey, you guys want to know? You guys want to know when I made my first real friends? High school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
understand.
friends.
Yeah.
Same. I think we all did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
I was very fortunate, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Just real quick, I was very fortunate that I met my like founding friends. Like, you know how you always have those people that whether you're still in contact with or you fell off, you know, you just don't talk to them anymore. I was pretty lucky that those core friends I met at a really young age.
Mm.
But I met some pretty good people in high school as well. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah.
Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And if you have friends, leave a comment saying, I have 100 friends and I have more friends than you, and rub it in my face.
Handle your inner Comey and make a million.
And if you want to be my friend and find a way into my heart, you should donate to our Patreon.
Don't do that. Join our Discord.
Join our Discord for
Patreon.
$0, but
Hey,
if you
look.
can, our Patreon starts at $1, and it can go up to $10. The more you donate, the more things that you get. We plan on having a lot more exclusive Patreon content as well as bonus content. Like I said before, there's one more Mario Wonder video coming out after this one. It's going to be exclusively on Patreon, so if you're into that sort of thing, you can. Like I said, there are many other ways to support us by simply liking, commenting, subscribing, and joining our Discord. All of that is completely free, and you can revoke those things. You can leave our Discord, you can unsubscribe, and you can unlike. You can even dislike if you want. Now, I don't want you to do that, but you can, and that's the great thing. That's a great thing about it being free. So, if anything, do that first, and then think about supporting us on Patreon. So,
And
anyways,
you know what? You can help some potentially, struggling
college
financially.
students.
Yeah.
Maybe you can pay
Wouldn't
for a
really
whole
say I'm
tuition.
struggling.
Wow, thank
Hilarious.
you.
I mean, I'm gonna say I'm struggling. I'm negative money
Yeah.
right now.
Oh.
Yeah, same.
Anyways,
I wasn't paid my last paycheck.
Whoa!
And absolute W.
I don't know how you're doing that.
What was that?
Man,
I wasn't paid my
No.
last paycheck. What is happening?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Because I was going like this earlier.
Anyways, guys, Luigi, Waluigi, boomers, and adios.
Adios.
Oh.